So, which actually segues nicely into what I want to talk about today, like why people don't buy.
That does segue perfectly.
You know, the reason we haven't paid for any of the designs yet is that the pain of actually changing and having those goddamn awful fucking designs is actually much more painful than sticking with the shit we've got that I threw together with a crappy fucking font and Photoshop.
Yeah, and that shitty stock image that I slightly manipulated as well. We're
Yeah.
still using that in places.
Well, yeah, well, it's better than anything else we've seen. It is. That fucking tutor.
Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah, you know, that's the embarrassing thing. Now the thing is, people won't change. Seriously, people won't buy, and because the pain of buying, the pain of the change it requires, whether it's large or small, is greater than the pain of staying the same. This is really fundamental. And I remember, I mean, some people listening to this, if they've been following my work for a while, they'll know about my Fats John moment. For those who don't, probably just over 10 years ago now, it got to the point, I mean, I am 5'4" and 7/8", just under 5'5". And I got to the point when I was just under 13 stone and it wasn't muscle. I had a 39.5-inch waist. I looked like a little ball, you know, like a little pot-bellied pig. It was not a good look by any stretch of the imagination. And I remember, I knew I was overweight, and I hated being that way, but I was never that bothered to do something about it, you know, because the pain of, I knew what it would entail. I knew it would entail going to the gym and restricting my diet, stopping drinking a bottle of wine every night, which at that point, it became a habit. But what actually tipped me over the edge was just, and I've even got the link somewhere here still on my browser, in my bookmarks. It was just an article on the BBC website about a bloke who was just coincidentally a bit older than me, who'd been almost literally at death's door, had been told by the doctors, you know, if you don't lose weight, you're going to be dead within a year. I think he had a heart attack as well. And he started cycling, which was probably the important poke I needed. And I just one of these flashes of, it's like an epiphany, you know, fuck, this is not going to end well unless I end it myself. It's like I've said before, I was actually talking about the book I'm writing. I write about it in the book about, you know, business owners are trapped in a cycle. I was trapped in a cycle of my own making. And they are too. They're too busy working hard to keep the cash flow coming in to stop and take a breather and work on the businesses. It's like running down the hill. And they can't stop. Or another way to look at it is, you know, imagine if you're inside a spin dryer and it's spinning, you're stuck against that wall like the clothes are, and you can't get out of it. The only way to get out of a cycle is for the cycle to be broken. And that's usually done from the outside. Now, for me, the outside influence was this website, this article. For guys in the trades that we help, for them, often the outside influence is us in a Q&A like we got tonight, or in a one-on-one call, or in a product or a service or something. You know, they'll read something from us or a critique or something, which will stop that spin cycle and get them out of it.
Don't mention the name, but this morning on the calls we hold with our higher end clients, someone was telling us about how well the domestic side of things were going.
Yeah.
And it was operating 55% profit margin on these jobs. And you went, it's almost like we know what we're talking about. And he went, you're absolutely right, because if you told me I'd be doing this to myself a year ago, I would have laughed at you and said, absolutely fucking not.
I ain't gonna happen.
I would have, I ain't gonna happen, because that's not how I do things. And it took us as an external force to break his cycle of taking on shit, low margin work.
Yeah, I've seen it happen loads of times in different ways. I mean, the good thing about us working in the trades is that most of them have the same problem, and they think it's different. It makes me laugh in a way, not in any malicious way, but it makes me laugh when they get in a hot seat or on the Q&A and you hear them talking, and to them, and it's quite understandable because of the solipsism, they think I'm the only one who feels this way. It's a bit like being autistic, actually. You think you're the only one in the world, but then you meet other autistic people and you think, fucking hell, thank God for that. they think only their business is unique. And of course, you and I, we've seen it hundreds of times over the years, hundreds, literally. If for me, not possibly thousands of times, I've seen clients and just people in general they've got the same problems. They can't get enough decent clients. They can't sell at high enough fees. And they don't have a pipeline to feed it all. Those three things are fucking fundamental. And that they can't get out of this cycle. They have to be broken out by an external force, which is us. But going back to what we were saying, you won't do anything. You can't break a cycle until the pain is so great, you will invite something in from the outside, or you will accept an outside influence, like I did. That article had always been there. It just so happened I saw it on that particular day, and it was enough for me to go, fuck. So that very day, I took my bike out in the afternoon. Thought I was going to die, which itself was embarrassing, because I always thought I was fairly fit. It all happened my whole life, really. And although I knew I was overweight, I didn't think my fitness had suffered, but it fucking well had. I was choking and coughing and puking. I'd gone just over a mile up the road. Wow. It was up a hill, but yeah, it was uphill, and it was on a track. So not really off road, but it was hard going. So about a mile and a quarter, and I was going to puke. I had to stop. I eventually got around all 5 miles, and I couldn't cycle for about 3 days because my arse was so fucking sore. But then I got back on the bike, and within 2 or 3 months, I'd lost a shitload of weight. I'd started doing the weights and stuff because a mate of mine was a UK bodybuilding champion. He gave me a routine to do. It wasn't fair to someone else. I got to the point within a very short period of time when the only limiting factor on my cycling was my time I had available for it. So I was, and as then for the last 10 years, I've been cycling, not so much the last couple of years, it's only, the last 18 months. Other than that, last 10 years, I've been probably cycling anything from at least 10 miles a day, and often 15, 20, depending on how much time I've got. But it took the pain of staying the same to exceed the pain of change. And that was really very simple, because it was just, I was aghast at what had happened to myself, And a lot of people like that, they're in business, and I guess it's a bit like boiling the frog. Yeah, they don't feel the pain because their situation worsens slowly over time. I bet if that guy we talked about this morning looks back at how he was a year ago or 18 months ago and thinks, fuck, put myself back in a working day then compared to now and how much money I wasn't making, it must be appalling. But at the time, you can become habituated to anything, even abuse,